Welcome, everyone. My name is Guy Toole. We are excited to have you joining us today for 1QR in print, probably where we see most QR codes. They're either on signs, banners, brochures, um, billboards. I think these are some of the most beneficial and powerful marketing tools available to us, and we foresee them being the most utilized marketing element coming in the future. And we're here making a big change in this marketing space, Kathy, joined by Kathy Inman, our executive VP here over at 1QR. And we're going to just go through a quick little demo uh, webinar on 1QR in print, give you some ideas on how these can be utilized. But once we provide these types of ideas, it's all up to us to be able to start implementing them. They're not going to work for us if we don't use it. It's just like any technology out there. If I don't know how to use my phone, I'm not going to be able to make a call or receive a call if I don't know how to push certain buttons. There's no real learning curve at all with 1QR. It's very simple. It's straightforward. You'll even see that from the demo that will be later within the presentation. But Kathy, let's get into it and talk about 1QR in print.
Absolutely. One of my favorite topics. I just think it's so fun when you see a QR code somewhere. It's all about being curious, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're putting something out there in print, we talk about this all the time. Give it a voice, give it some dimension. Don't just have it be this static image on a page. And with 1QR, not only are you giving it today's voice, you can change the voice tomorrow or the next day or the next week or next month by having something else that you've changed the link to.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's people it may be a little confusing. That may be the technology part of the technology, because I think really this it's technology to make, but it's not technology that you have to learn a whole lot of, we don't have to go learn how to code anything. You just have to put in some information.
Right.
But I love this image here. Even see the difference. So you can go into this magazine, maybe you're flipping through it and you're like, I'm interested in that product, but I don't know how it works. So maybe you put in a video about how to use it. Or I'm interested in this product, but I'm not sure what's in it. I want to know what's in there. So maybe you have a video that links to the ingredients. I mean, there's so many different things you could do with this. Even after you get feedback, maybe somebody gives you some feedback and it's like, oh man, that QR code should lead to something else. Oh,
Right.
that's a good idea. I think I'll change that.
The whole thing with 1QR is making sure that we want to provide a QR code platform that's going to work for you forever.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the dynamic aspect of our QR codes. There's two different types of QR codes. There's a static, which you print once, you want to change something, you got to get a new QR code. Dynamic, you dynamically adjust the destination. So from this example, it's being able to have an interactive experience for people that are viewing these types of materials, being able to watch a video, get additional information. Because a lot of times you can't put all that information in your one pager. And you need to be able to say, by scanning the QR code, you're going to get all of this additional information, how to use, why to use, different types of things that you can't get in just single print.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can't print everything, right? You can't print everything. But I love, again, order now. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
I'm flipping through this magazine. This happens all the time. I'm like, ooh, that's really cute. That'd be a great Christmas present. That'd be a great, birthday present. I should get that ordered so it's just in my stash and ready to have. Oh, I'm gonna have to remember to go back, or I'm gonna flip the page over on this magazine and come back and order this. No, I'm gonna click the QR code. I'm gonna open it on my phone, and then I'm gonna go ahead and order it. It may not be that second, right? But that's the whole idea. Is once it's in my phone, I have the link. I have the power to go take the action versus having to go find it. And maybe while I'm searching for it, I find something else. Just send me right to where you want me to go. Send me to order that thing.
Right. I love the ability to be able within one QR is yes, we're dynamic, but we're also customizable. Like you can customize the QR code to your brand to fit aesthetically into wherever you're putting that QR code. Um, Endless opportunities, promotional opportunities. QR codes are huge for driving someone to something specific, not making someone have to search for everything. We talk about it all the time, and when people are talking about, oh, my amazing websites and my amazing landing pages, and there's just so much that someone has to either read through or click through to go to a different page. A QR code, have the destination go specifically where you want them. Kathy, I know we've talked multiple times about there's an article that was written many years ago, and it's about a company that came in and did some consulting for another company, and it's called the $300 million button. And essentially, all they did was change the label on the button to buy now and made it so you didn't have to create an account. It's essentially purchase as a guest. A QR code is an essential digital way of having a $300 million button put on whatever you want to drive someone where you want them to go to. Give everyone an example here of this promotional aspect, because I know you personally are doing this and you're actually doing it this week.
I am doing it this week. I'm so excited. Well, and I really want to talk about a couple things that you and I've already talked about also is so I'm debuting a shirt this week. I'm very excited about. It has a QR code on it that I'm going to have change throughout the conference that I'm going to, because not only are, one QR codes dynamic where we can go in and change them, they're also um, you can schedule them. I don't know what schedulable. I'm not sure what the word would be, but I'm going to be able to have a schedule and have that QR code flip to different pages during the conference. So excited to show that off and show off that feature. I think one of the things, like you said earlier, is multiplying your exposure, right? So first exposure is I've created a shirt that says, the name of what I'm, promoting. So people might be like, okay, curiosity number one, what is that? But curiosity number two, what does that QR code go to? So it's going to answer their question and then give them more information. So just like we talked about earlier, whatever marketing piece you already have, and that's to me, that's really where QR codes are a simple way to market. This is not meant to become a complexity to your marketing. It's meant to become a complement to what you're already doing. So if you're making shirts, if you're making signs, if you're making banners, if you have flyers, if you send out a promotional piece, think of the things you already do and just put a QR code on them. It's that simple. That's where you start.
Right. Imagine being, I know some legacy users of our other platforms do a lot of networking. Imagine
Mhm.
having a shirt with a QR code on it. That's your contact information. That is who you are. And then to your point, like you're using the scheduler within our application to adjust that QR code to go elsewhere, to maybe it's your website after a little while. And then maybe it's an intriguing text message that, you know what, I really like that lady. I want to reach out to Kathy. I just don't know what to say. Well, with a text message already filled out by yourself, I think it's very intriguing to be able to basically foster the networking, foster the lead into working with someone, learning more about you, connecting with you, say, how can we work together? How can I get these QR codes on everything that I do? Because that's where we should be looking at. The future really is here. And technology 5, 10 years ago wasn't to a place where one QR is probably sustainable, but now it is. And we're seeing large companies like Apple and Google invest billions of dollars into their camera lenses to be able to scan a QR code, which essentially they're behind the scene pushing this technology forward. Like
Yep.
it's made its resurgence. It's a billion-dollar industry. It's going to be tens, hundreds of billion-dollar industry in the very near future. And what that tells us and why we know we're on the right path and why we are a differentiator in this QR code space is we see this as where the future is going. And we've talked about it, Kathy. Implementing technology shouldn't be that hard. And
Nope.
implementing one QR is not hard at all. It just takes a little bit of uh, provoking thoughts on where would I utilize this? Well,
Yep.
we're talking about print. Everything that you print should have a QR code on it.
And to your point, it could be the different things. It doesn't have to be the same QR code. It may look the same. That's up to you. If you want to design one QR code and just copy that style over and over and over again, which we have that in the app, copy style. But it could each of those QR codes may go to something different. And I love that you mentioned the contact. So you can literally scan a QR code, get my phone contact, and now it also will ask for your contact back. You have that option of turning on that lead capture.
I think we've pinpointed a very valuable proprietary element within one QR that addresses a lot of lead capture elements that people are looking for. We talk to people multiple a day, and the question is, how do I know it's being scanned? Well, we've got analytics built within. We've got real-time push notifications within the application. But by being able to say, how can I get someone's information back? Being able to toggle on just a simple lead capture that if they fill that out, you receive an email with a new lead. People are always looking for leads, even though you might have enough in your own phone to be able to actively work those and reach out and see if you can work together or how you could support them. This QR code platform has evolved, right? We're a few months away from our 1 year anniversary on delivering this QR code platform, and there's already been hundreds of thousands of QR codes generated and millions of scans. And being able to say, we're just at the tip of the iceberg in where this thing is going. What I love about this is it's sort of an example of real estate. The
Mhm.
initial release of 1QR was to the real estate space, and we have so many realtors who are utilizing our platform in so many ways within their print. We've talked signage, we've talked open house signs. Now we get into more of the brochures and the pamphlets, being able to provide something that gives that interactive experience. I can look at a pamphlet and see if I like the house enough that I can explore more. Well, that QR code is going to be that exploratory thing of taking a virtual tour, getting all the documentation type thing of the neighborhood and the comps and whatever I decide to put on the QR code as the destination to be able to give more information to someone to lean into advancing potentially as a buyer or maybe even a potential seller who really likes the ability to multiply the exposure of their homes or multiply the exposure of products because that's what we've talked about so many times, Kathy, is that QR code should go in everything in print. I know I've got my feedback loop covered. I know
Yep.
things are working when I start getting analytics and notifications of a QR code being scanned. But if I'm spending my hard earned dollars to be in local magazines, there's some people that are in national magazines. They don't know if someone's looking at their article unless they talk with them and say, hey, I saw you in this magazine. But when they start scanning those QR codes and you start getting the notifications, you sort of have that feedback loop knowing that, okay, My investment into this is working. My investment into this, my company, this is how it's working. We are getting actual notifications and analytics, knowing that these QR codes are going to be working for us.
Absolutely. Well, I just have to share that the story you told me before about the QR code, that you had heard a story from one of our realtors that the family had actually taped a QR code out on a sign that the realtor, had put in their yard.
Mhm.
That tells me that people realize QR codes are coming.
Right.
So, as the business owner, do not be the one who's behind, right? I guess I keep thinking about, like, we know we know there's a lot of technology out there. We know there's a lot of things that we are all striving to learn or to keep up with or to do or to put into our businesses. This is one that's really simple. This is one that doesn't, again, it doesn't take a lot of learning. Just implement it with what you're already doing and get this one thing checked off your box. Get those QR codes done.
I would imagine, what this slide is saying, give viewers a reason to scan. Give them that that call to action on what they're going to experience. We've got people in the health and wellness industries and fitness and coaching on. I need to get more people signed up for a class. I need to educate more people, and we hold webinars. These are ways that you get people to lean into your process. For the longest time, Kathy, I think a lot of people in marketing running their own businesses is they're looking at funnels. I've got to funnel people into certain areas, and they're going to sort of choose their own adventure on where they're going. How do you get them into your funnel? Where do you start? The QR code is a very simple gateway. Open the door, get them moving. This is where we go. What I also love about One QR is I believe we're the only QR code platform that has a mobile application. So we're talking print here, but you've got digital QR codes within your phone. You can create widgets. You can have that thing living on your home screen for someone to scan, to get your contact information, to get information about your website, what you do, those different types of things. But I could even just open up my app and scroll through or go to the exact QR code that here's my limited time offer to you as a consultant. You can scan this right now and take action on this. Because if you don't scan now and don't take action, it won't be available for you next time we talk.
Absolutely. Well, I think too, and what I first thought of when I saw this slide was it's I think we're to the point in technology or in the world where people look at this and they don't go like, huh, I wonder what that squiggly square is up there. Right? There's no more hesitation. To your point, it's built into your phone.
Right.
So there's no more hesitation on it. So if it's here, like featured artists, you're obviously at an event, you're interested in the artist, you probably wouldn't be there. So you're going to learn who's at the event. Or you're at a festival and you want to know what's the schedule of events and what band is going to be on the stage at whatever time. Or to your point, you're an author. Maybe and you have a questionnaire that you have your readers do, and then you update that questionnaire next year. All the thousands of books you've ever sold already gets the newest questionnaire in that book because you have a dynamic QR code. There's so many things that we're already doing that if we just add the QR code, it's either going to take them down a path they've already thought about. They're like, oh, that's really helpful that that's there, or it leads them on a treasure hunt that they didn't even think about because they were already interested in your information, and now you've just ex- exploded how much you can offer to someone with that little squiggly square, right?
Mm-hmm. Intrigued. I love that you've mentioned that, and you've mentioned that a few times. So for leaning in and listening, the customers, they're intrigued. So provide it to them. We might not know. It's sort of like putting our blinders on and saying, well, I haven't used this technology. I don't know if it's going to work for me. You know what? You're intrigued when you see a QR code, you scan it. Maybe you're at a restaurant, you scan a menu, you can get the menu, right? That's what you're looking for. Put yourself in the restaurant owner's shoes. They
Mhm.
know you're going to scan that QR code because it's been proven basically since 2020 that that's how you're going to get that information. People are looking for information. I've I'll go back to the real estate industry just because it's one that I know fairly well. Um, there's emerging demographics of buyers, and these buyers refuse to pick a phone up and make a call. A lot of them will just text. Email is, a dinosaur technology to them, but a QR code is where they get their information. They want to do it on their terms, their time, and they want the information readily accessible. So being able to provide a QR code where they can get the information and then they get the idea of moving forward, stepping forward and saying, okay, I like this. Now I'm going to pick a call up or pick the phone up, make a call, set a showing, potentially buy a home, or even the ability to scan it and share it to someone else. Share that destination to other people who might have interest or their parents saying, what do you think about this home? It's it's a very simple technology that just takes a little bit of thought on where do I want someone to go?
I'm related to one of those people. I mean, my 26-year-old daughter just did that, right? They bought a home. But the other thing to expound now that, if you've watched our other videos, they have a new house is I think that generation's also very DIY.
Right.
They've grown up watching a lot of these home shows where you can do a lot of things yourself. And maybe it's just my kiddos, but they have just taken the bull by the horns and they have done a ton of things themselves in the house. How have they done that? By watching videos and by scanning the QR codes on the boxes, the millions of boxes of the things they've bought, and learning how to do it themselves. How do I put this together? How do I make this look like this? How do I do, whatever this project is? It's because they're continually um, just eating up information, and that's how it comes to them. Everything that comes to them has some sort of QR code to a warranty, to instructions, to whatever it is that they're looking for. And they don't even have to ask a question. It's very rarely that they call me and go like, we don't know how to do this, because they go find that information themselves if we provide it to them, right?
Right.
This one is kind of, this slide goes back to what you had talked about earlier, but it's the same thing as any product information. You're able to put data out in front of someone who's maybe flipping through an annual report or something that they've received in the mail. And if you put all the data points in there, this book would be 4 inches thick. So you have this quick little 4-page um, report, but it has QR codes that leads to the data for those people who do like details to go and investigate further.
Right. The whole aspect with the QR code is being able to distribute information, distribute relevant information from yourself as user. So this is where we implore everyone, hey, think about implementing QR codes because you really should be doing it because it will be sort of the norm. Everyone's going to be doing it. You see large companies all the time, uh, commercials. Kathy, you're talking about Caitlin and purchasing her home and building, having furniture come that they've got to put together. There's QR codes on how to do those. And it's your like scan this QR code for the video or scan this QR code for the step by step.
Mm-hmm.
It's implementing it for yourself. So it's contact or it's information distribution. It's also information consumption. So
Yeah,
that's where we've got to think about who's going to be scanning these. What type of information are they going to be getting? Where am I driving this to for them to get the information they're looking for?
absolutely. And this one, we've talked about the menu already, but I think the thing that's important here that stood out for me on this slide is, and I just had a conversation a couple weeks ago with a gal at networking. She was like, I understand you do QR codes, but they're so ugly. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't think they're that ugly. The point being is that with one QR, you can make them pretty, you can make them personable, you can change the color, the pattern, the shapes inside, the if you want a picture or a logo, there's so many things you can do with them. Make them a square, make them a circle, and I just think that I don't think people are judging are judging what your QR code looks like, but you can make them prettier. You can make them, into your guidelines of your colors and everything like that. But I think the most important part is that you're using them.
Right. Customization will be huge. That's where a lot of people are like, I want it to aesthetically fit my brand.
Yep.
You have that ability with one QR. So we're going to go into a quick little demo here that Kathy has recorded for us. Some of you might see some changes from what the platform used to be. What Kathy loves about being able to record these videos is she knows she's going to be doing a lot of them because there's even changes that have happened since she's recorded this. So take a quick look and we'll be right back.
You know how easy it is to scan a QR code? Let us show you step by step how to make your own QR code. Simply go to oneqr.com and select Get Free QR. Choose your method to get started. I'm going to use an email address. Simply fill out your account information, create a password, choose your industry, accept the terms and conditions, and select Sign Up. You will now need to check your email for the verification code to put in the box. Enter the confirmation code and select Verify. You're now ready to personalize your QR code. First, you want to name your QR code. This is a descriptive name so that you know where you're placing the QR code. Say, for example, you're making a banner for an event. By naming the QR code, you'll know where the QR code is if you need to update the destination anytime in the future. You can also put an optional tag. Once you have created multiple QR codes, this will make it easy to come and find the QR codes that you've made. You can see using our free OneQR, you're able to make your destination a web link. If you'd like to use any of the other destinations, you'll need to upgrade to the Pro or Unlimited options. Here's where you'll put the web link that you want your QR code to go to. I'm going to use the OneQR website as the example. The default shape for your QR code will be the square. If you'd like a circular QR code, you'll need to upgrade. The colors here in the pattern are all different choices that you can use to personalize your QR code to your branding colors or your marketing. You can use the color wheel here as well if you know your hex code or RGB code, and you're able to change both the pattern color, the marker color, and if you are a pro or unlimited user, you can also change the frame and the color. If you'd like to use a logo or a photo in the center of your QR code, simply upload the file here, and then you can make your choices below depending again on whether or not you have the free, the pro, or the unlimited version. I highly suggest you turn on the scan so that you know every time that your QR code is scanned. Then select Save. Your QR code is now ready to share. You can download it, share it, or grab a short link to it. To download, all you have to do is select Download and PNG file, and it will go to the downloads on your computer. If you are needing a larger type file, you'll need to upgrade to Pro or Unlimited. Want to know more about OneQR? Visit us on social media and check out our video series.
Very simple explanation demo on how to create a QR code, create an account with OneQR. And as you saw throughout the demo there's updatable features where you can then upgrade and have more features, more power to utilize within your QR code marketing. If you haven't signed up yet, it's as simple as scanning the QR code. We're able to do this in real time while we're here, as well as this is being recorded and will be placed over in our YouTube channel to be able to watch OneQR in print, be reshared, and uh, and just expose that OneQR is the go-to QR code platform. We've got a few different subscriptions, as Kathy was showing you in the demo. That was giving you a look and feel of free. We have Pro and Unlimited. There's more features in each one of those. At last count, actually, the Unlimited has 18 features and the Pro has 17, and there are more and more coming. We are working on the simplification of each one of those elements because that's what we want to make sure OneQR is. It's very simple, and anyone can utilize this. Anyone can create a QR code, design it, and have it go wherever they want. Put it on their print, have it digitally on their phone, and share. Another great thing I think that we overlook sometimes is the short link that is generated with each one of these QR codes. You're generated a short link that is where you would use that to be able to text, email, put on social. And anytime someone selects that link, it's just like they were to scan a QR code. You get those types of notifications within the application, knowing that it's working. There's some really cool enhancements that we're going to be having with our short link. Essentially, you'll be able to manage those and customize in the future. We're excited about being able to bring those because that essentially is another solution within OneQR that a lot of people are using. I know, Kathy, you use a platform to shorten your links. I know there's lots of other people out there utilizing OneQR that are doing the same and are excited about when we make that new push and a new feature. So I know we're getting ready to wrap this up. We do have a ton of resources, and Kathy has been putting a lot of these together. We've got people behind the scenes curating and putting collateral together where you can get how-to videos, um, information on ideas on where I would implement. We've actually started a couple new series of videos of Beyond the Code and what's our other one? It escapes me right now, but essentially giving you ideas on how to use the QR code and then giving you ideas on how to execute those within the QR code platform of OneQR. So we've got our video series collections, we've got our communities, we've got white papers. These white papers give you the idea on potentially looking at other industries that are implementing QR codes and how OneQR can be that go-to platform for them, as well as our social handles. It's a simple way for yourself. It's a simple way to use a QR code to get people to your social sites. But when you're meeting someone in person, Kathy, your shirt at your event might go to a social at some point. being able to connect with you. So many people in a in this world is, how do I follow you? Where do we connect on social platforms? It's a very simple way to be able to utilize your QR code to make those connections. So, Kathy, I'm going to throw it to you. We're going to wrap this up. Everyone, thank you for joining us today for 1QR in print. And we're excited to see
Yeah,
you implement QR codes.
absolutely. If you're printing it, make sure you're printing it with a QR code.
Awesome. Everyone, have a great day. Take care.